Prime Minister Anwar, many thanks for speaking to DW today. You've been speaking a lot over the course of this week, powerfully, with accusations of hypocrisy towards the West in its approach to the crises going on around the world. And I think with particular reference to the war in Gaza and comparing it to the war in Ukraine and comparing the Western responses to these two conflicts. Could you just explain the view that you've been expressing?
No, I'm expressing the sentiments and feelings of many people in the global South, that they want peace, they want justice, and there should not be discriminatory practice or judging areas and bias. That's why I call it hypocrisy, because they seem to be very tough on Ukraine, and we have expressed the same thing. We were against any aggression, any conquest by any country, right? Now, but that's so. Why is it so difficult even to call for a ceasefire in Gaza? And how is it you can tolerate 60 years of atrocities, of dispossession, of land being taken? I mean, that was the only thing that I need to call upon the West to consider. And at the same time, we talk about rapprochement, understanding between East and West, respect multiculturalism. And it doesn't work that way. People become more disillusioned and distrusting of political leaders.
Now, Germany and the broader West position, their position has been very much with respect to Gaza that Israel has the right to defend itself against the terrorist attack, as they see it, that was mounted by Hamas, a group that they see also as a terrorist group, on October the 7th. Do you reject that as any justification for the Western view on things?
What about colonization of the last 50, 60 years? What about the dispossession? What about the land being taken? What about the killings of children on a daily basis by the settlers, taking people's land and property? Is that not relevant? While humanity is only, and justice and atrocity is only committed on the 7th of October and nothing before that? Why is it that the West can tolerate for 50 years of this ridiculous atrocity? I mean, these are questions that need to be raised. People are not naive, you see. Nobody wants to condone any sort of atrocity by anyone, you know. But if a country is colonized, all the war against colonialism, all throughout these decades and centuries, in Vietnam, in Algeria, in South Africa, apartheid, you talk about atrocities committed by the freedom fighters? You don't. Why give an exception to Hamas? But that's the point. Do I therefore condone atrocity? No. How do you stop Hamas atrocity? Stop the colonialism or colonization. Why can't we look at it in a comprehensive manner how to resolve? Not from the dictates of the capitals of Europe and the United States. Not all capitals, fortunately. But why? You see, that's the point. I'm not condoning any atrocity. But the point is that you seem to be very selective. It's like selective amnesia. You choose. So people question. I mean, in the global, look at the narrative. Is it because they are colored? Is it because they are Muslims, or there are many Christians in Gaza? But why is it? Why is it that you cannot have sort of transparent, consistent, coherent voice?
So I'd like to talk about Hamas shortly, but let's try to get specific then. So we understand the argument that you're making towards the broader West. You're here in Germany. Is this behavior, are these positions that you see in Germany, do you feel that in the German position there is hypocrisy, this hypocrisy that you describe?
Well, let's say this, that Germany tends to have this psyche of the millstone antecedent, what happened against the Jews, and the Holocaust, which I condemn, okay? because no community, including the Jews, should be treated in that manner, period. So you have a special relation with Israel. That's your right, it's not a question. But I'm questioning from 47, 48 Nakba. Why is it so difficult to take a position? Yes, you want to protect the security of Israel, but why must we be muted when it comes to atrocities against another people, another race, another group?
So let's be more specific. So Germany, of course, it does say that it has a historical responsibility towards the Jewish people, towards the state of Israel, as a result of the crimes of the Holocaust. You already referred to that. And this has been reiterated in recent months in the current situation, and this is part of the background for Germany's position. But Germany has been critical of settlements. It has been critical it is drawing a clearer line about what it sees as acceptable behavior. It is becoming more critical. Do you feel that Germany still has to do more, just staying specifically on Germany for now?
Well, I did acknowledge the position taken by Germany now. It is calling for immediate ceasefire and increased humanitarian assistance to Gaza. But certainly it's not enough, because you're a bit silent. The fact that continued attacks on the innocent lives in Gaza on the pretext of Hamas. So Hamas becomes a bogey person. Whether they are there or not, whether they've been killed or not, is irrelevant. But the fact that you must completely destroy and kill children, women, and civilians. And that's why I use the term hypocrisy. I can't understand, neither can I rationalize this. But of course, I did acknowledge positively the statement by Chancellor Scholz, for example, calling for ceasefire and stop this war and return of hostages. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. But why this complete silence and tolerance of continued atrocities pre-7th October and post-7th October? The narrative of the West is not accepted by the entire world. That is the point. It's not Malaysia. I choose to say it because I think it's a matter of conscience. I went through hell in my life. I know what solitary confinement is. I know what injustice is. So I thought that it is only proper that I speak up. But many of my colleagues wanted to do that for fear, for concerns, for economic survival, whatever reasons.
Before moving on to the next kind of area of questions, just to be specific again, so your accusation of hypocrisy, I mean, you welcome some of the steps that Germany has made recently, but your accusation of hypocrisy does apply to Germany as well as the wider West.
Well, at least before the final decision, that is calling for a cessation,